What's going on, guys? Chris here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have something that has been highly requested, which is a tutorial on how I color grade C-Log3 from the Canon R5. We're shooting on the Canon R5 right now, and I've used this same color grading process to grade this video. So if you enjoy, then stick around and I'll show you how I do it. I'm gonna just right away, I'm gonna open QuickTime Player to start a screen recording. It's always kind of confusing how you do this. Wait, record. All right, so I have two clips here. One is this photo shoot I just went on with a friend of mine named Alexis. We did this very, homey, vintagey, I don't know how you'd call this, not really boudoir, but like, it's a more intimate type of photo shoot. And I got some slow motion B-roll at 120 frames per second on the Canon R5 using C-Log3. So we'll be able to see how this performs with the slow motion footage right here, as well as I have just some vlog footage, just me with my face, which is kind of like the video where people asked how I color grade in the first place. So let's get right into this. Let's start with this shot of Alexis. It's not color graded at all. This is just flat C-Log3, 120 frames per second on the R5. It looks good. It looks really dreamy, just like this. But we want to give it some color. Let's give it some color. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you what my personal LUT is like. I have it here. It's called a YouTube LUT. And if I apply it, it just looks like this. I don't really have to do anything else. And it looks really good. I'll show you guys how I get this look, but this is kind of what the final look will be like. And I can show you guys also for the second clip, just apply the LUT like that, and it looks pretty freaking good. I think it looks good. You guys thought it looked good, so let's just talk about it. So Command Z, back to the beginning. So first thing what you want to do, this is in Final Cut Pro. I always edit in Final Cut Pro. I want to change the workspace. So you go to Window, Workspace, and then you go to Color and Effects so that we pull up the Luma right here. I use the Luma all the time when color grading to make sure that my blacks are not too dark and my whites are not too bright or clipping. So let's go to the first clip here with Alexis. We'll just pick a frame that kind of matches the scene well. I'll choose this frame right here. So we have the kind of bright sky behind her, and we have her as well in the shot. So first thing I do is open the color section here, and I go to the exposure tab out of the three. And first thing I do is bring the shadows down. Now I look at the Luma here on the left, and I bring the shadows down so that it gets close to zero, but it never actually touches it. Because once you pass zero, as you can see, you start to crush the blacks a little bit too much and it looks bad. So you bring this down here close to zero. You can fine tune it later, obviously, but this is just to start. And then I go to the highlights and I bring it up, and I kind of play this one by eye. It really depends how much contrast I want, but I'll probably bring it up to about here. So I don't want it to pass too much above 100, because that's when you start to clip the whites, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's just something to be wary. So you kind of lift it up, play with it a little bit to see what looks good. Then what I do is I go to the saturation, and then I bring up the midtones. Now this is just a general color grade, which looks good. It kind of represents the Rec 709 true to life look, which, it has its purposes. I think it looks good. And if I didn't want too much of a style, I would do something like this. Something I have been using a lot, and I really enjoy, and I've made it a part of my personal LUT, is something I edit on top of the Creative Ryan LUT. I'll leave a link in the description to his LUT. You can purchase it. I purchased it when it was on a discount. He does it for holidays or just random moments when he's feeling good. And I love how it looks. It took a while to learn how to use it, especially with my skin tone. But let me show you guys what I do. So let me remove everything I just did from this picture. I think, there we go. So now I go to custom LUTs. Now I don't have that many. I pretty much only have his and something I was testing myself. And then I apply it. As you can see, it is quite strong. One thing I do change is the output. I have to put it into Rec 2020, which kind of brings it back to a more natural look. I don't really understand what this all means, but it's just something I gotta do. And then I bring this down to about 30%, which is something is strong enough so that I notice it, but it's not too, imposing. And then what I do is I basically do what I said before. So I bring down the shadows as need be, bring up the highlights just a little bit, and then up the saturation. Now this is kind of the look how I have on my personal LUT right there. So yeah, if you guys want to purchase my LUT, just let me know. I can put it on my store, I guess, where you can buy my presets and all that jazz. Also make sure I'll leave a link to Creative Ryan's LUT, because his LUT, although it's not really a large factor in this, it does help, and I really like using it as a base. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, I think it looks really good. I'm gonna make this full screen here. I think it looks really cinematic, while at the same time, you know, the skin tones have a warm tint, which I personally like. And if I were to copy these settings and apply it to this one, it looks pretty much identical to my custom LUT, because it's really easy to do. And that's kind of how I like it. I don't want it to be difficult. I don't want it to be a long process. And I want it to work with multiple clips in multiple different lighting and color situations, like these two clips, which pretty much are completely different. Our skin tones are different, the lighting around it is different, just the whole style is different. Because personally with my skin tone, it's not really easy using just generic LUTs, because a lot of them are designed for lighter complexions. So it took me a little bit longer to come up with this, but when I did, fine-tuning the percentage of the Creative Ryan LUT and then my personal editing, this is what I found works for pretty much every skin tone, and I think it looks good. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, then leave a like on the video. I would much appreciate that. Maybe sub to the channel if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Peace. Let's edit.